So I figured out why we can't have nice things. So the Venom movie was released and critics have just been bashing it. Like, even the friends who I usually go to see movies with refuse to go see it because apparently it looked like trash and it's just been getting shit reviews across the board. And to be fair, after that first trailer was launched, a bunch of people were just bashing on the movie and hating on it without giving it a chance, myself included. I thought the movie looked stupid. I even bitched about the CGI, I bitched about Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock. I just hated on the movie to the point where I wasn't even going to give it the time of day. In fact, I was going to go watch something else the other day. Luckily though, my brother convinced me to go watch it because he doesn't have trailer bias. He just goes see whatever he wants. I appreciate him for that. But anyway, I've just been ranting for a while. So Venom stars Tom Hardy as he plays Eddie Brock, a reporter who, after losing everything trying to expose an evil organization for their crimes against humanity, gets his parasite lodged inside him, who basically can talk in his head, can spit out goo-like stuff, kind of like Spider-Man's webs, only they hurt a lot more, to attack enemies. He can also envelop Eddie's body in like the black goo, which lets him do basically Hulk-like stuff almost. He can run up buildings, throw stuff, basically bulletproof. He can also regenerate Eddie Brock's body and eat people. So if after hearing that, or if you've seen the trailer, you think this movie looks and sounds kind of dumb, then you're kind of in the same mindset that I was. But I watched the movie anyway, thanks to my younger brother. And though this movie is not perfect, it definitely has issues. You can definitely pick at this movie if you want to. But it's surprisingly charming for what it is. And yes, the plot of this movie isn't anything to cheer or praise about. You know, the whole evil science experiment gone wrong, evil scientist, next step in human revolution, ha 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 ha, blah 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 blah. The main fun in the movie comes with the interactions between Eddie and Venom. Now with Eddie, especially when he first gets the symbiote, and you see Eddie Brock, who, though he is a flawed character, he's presented as a flawed character. He's presented as kind of like a character who thinks things out, like a character who doesn't act rationally, unless he wants to ruin his wife's career, but other than that, he acts perfectly sane. Until he gets a symbiote and goes crazy. He goes into this like primal state, trying to like figure out what's going on with my body. It's hilarious, and it's also very dramatic in a cinematic way. And when it comes to Venom, I might piss some people off with this, but I think he was the perfect fit for this movie. I know everyone wanted, or at least the comic book fans wanted, like a more like gruff, one-dimensional, angry, destroy all humans kind of Venom in this movie. But with today's superhero climate, that really wouldn't have worked out. Like, that's a hard character to transmit into film, at least as a main character. Maybe if this was a Spider-Man movie and he was just one of the villains, not even the main villain, then maybe you can have like him as like the mindless brute or something. But no, I think what they did here is good. They almost took Venom's arc, if you want to call it that, and made it more of like a redemption arc. I'm not going to spoil much. And redemption arc might be giving it a little too much credit. But yeah, that, and they infused some humor into it. And infusing humor into Venom's character made him a lot more relatable and made the more darker scenes in the movie a little more watchable rather than edgy. And let's be real, like, who would take the comic book Venom seriously in this setting? Like, especially with that CGI, or that CGI, whatever I put in this video. Like, don't get me wrong, the CGI in this movie looks good for what it is, but it's still a hard sell, especially if you're trying to go for like a super serious, evil, destroy all humans kind of alien kind of thing. Like, it wouldn't have worked in this film, at least in a live action film looking like that. I think infusing a little bit of humor to him makes it like feel a little more goofy while the action scenes still making him look pretty badass. So I think you just check two boxes with that and it works for me. And just having Venom become his own character in this movie just really helps the viewer become more invested in the film and what's going on. Though I will argue that Eddie and Venom are the only two interesting characters in this movie, including the villain, including the side characters, I still think they're enough to drive this movie forward and to make it a very good viewing experience. And yeah, sure, like there are things to nitpick and to bash on this movie. Like for example, how Venom and Eddie's relationship go from "I hate you" to "brother," like between scenes. Like it's super abrupt. And how the main villain is basically just the polar opposite of Eddie. It's kind of like a cliche we've seen over and over again. Nellie would be disappointed.
It's time to stop!
And also the side characters, as I mentioned before, just not interesting. Like you can take them out of the movie. They're just there to kind of like progress the plot. Like there's nothing interesting with them. There's like this whole like with Eddie's ex-wife. Spoilers, I guess, if you consider the first 10 minutes of the movie spoilers. Eddie's ex-wife, that whole subplot just, I don't know, I didn't care. I really didn't care. And there was kind of an awkward scene involving her and Venom. I mean, I didn't mind it at first, but the more I think about it, it's kind of weird. You'll know what I mean when you see it.
No.
But while watching, you can easily put these out of your head. And sure, those issues, on top of a couple others I might not have mentioned, prevent this movie from being great. But it's still, like, as it is, it's still a solid film and definitely worth your time. I think more people should check out this movie and give it a chance. Don't listen to, like, you shouldn't always listen to critic reviews. Because if I did that, I wouldn't have watched this movie. And I enjoyed it. And, like, sure, that I know there'll be, like, an army of people being like, oh, the reviews are bad, so this movie's bad. But whatever, you're missing out on a good movie, I don't know what to say. Anyway, the big takeaway here is that this movie kind of gives me hope for Sony films. Maybe they can start making good movies. It gives me less trust in critics, which was already kind of wavering. And it gives me more confusion of why Tom Hardy keeps going back on films he's made and just saying they're trash. Like, Hardy, if you star in a film, just go with it. Commit. Wait for people to bash it before you turn against it. See, this is why we can't have nice things. Critics and actors turning against movies. And my friends who wouldn't go see Venom with me. Go fuck yourself.